Hello, I'm Greg Jarrett. You're in the strategy room. Winning swing states will be critical this election year. And as presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump and Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton begin to sharpen their attacks against one another, take a look at new polling which suggests a tight race in key battleground states like Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Joining me now with analysis, Democratic strategist David Mercer, Republican strategist Brad Blakeman. Gentlemen, good to see you both. Brad, let's take a look at Florida. You know, Trump kind of claims he's a Floridian because he owns the big estate Mar-a-Lago there. Did well in the primary, but wow, look at this. He's essentially within a margin of error statistical tie with Hillary Clinton there. Are you surprised by this?
I am. The fact that these polls are coming out, even though a lot of these polls, Greg, we have to take with a grain of salt because we're so far away in political terms. The fact that the polls are showing this close, remember, these are states that Obama won last time that can be flipped back to red. Republicans must win Florida and Ohio to win a general election. This is good news for Donald Trump, especially the news about Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and it's not just Florida, but it is a couple of other important swing states, David. Ohio, Trump actually beats Clinton outside the margin of error, 43 to 39%. Then you move on to Pennsylvania, and again, statistical tie within the margin of error, 43-42, Clinton over Trump. What do you make of this?
I make the same thing as Brad alluded to, and that is it's way too early. But I will point out that as we've seen in the press and quoted from even the staff of the Trump campaign, he has hardly prepared to raise the necessary funds that it will take to sustain a general election. It is his first time out, and I think that with all of the things pulling down the Republicans, they have a long road to haul. And again, I'll close with saying that in the last 5 of the 6 presidential elections, Republicans have lost the popular vote, and Trump, his math on elections is how many votes can you alienate rather than gain. Yeah. So we'll wait and see. The polls are way too early, but their habit and their history shows that they're going to have a tough time getting enough votes to have a good showing.
Speaking of history, since 1960, nobody's won the presidency without winning 2 of the 3 swing states we mentioned, Brad. But even though Hillary Clinton leads in nearly every nationwide general election poll and leads considerably, Rasmussen poll being an outlier. Do you think that these swing state polls reflect, Brad, sort of a warming up of American attitudes toward Donald Trump?
Sure. I think the general population is warming up to him, as is the Republican Party. We still have to unify. His meeting on Thursday will be important with the Speaker of the House. But as they come to know Donald Trump, the comparisons are like night and day between where Trump wants to take our country and where Hillary has wanted to take our country for 30 years. So I think at the end of the day, the polls are going to be really close. Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New Mexico, Michigan, these battleground states are going to matter, and I think that this may be a harbinger, these polls, of what's likely to come in the fall.
You know, David, Donald Trump has historically the worst negative rating of any potential nominee, not to mention any potential candidate. But Hillary Clinton is, sort of a close second. Her, negatives are abysmal. She is way underwater. How does that play into these polls?
Well, I think we'll take that, and again, you're fielding, or the Republicans are fielding, the candidate with the worst popular opinion going into a general election, which should say something. But I'll just go back to the Republican Party itself. I mean, you have several former Republican and recent presidents that are not going to endorse Trump, that aren't going to the convention. You have a lot of senators, 24 senators on the GOP side that are running for re-election, and several have already said they're not going to the convention to risk being tied too closely to what is likely or to who is likely to be the nominee of the party. That shows a lot of division. That's hard to go into a general election to get the votes you need to win.
Well, there's a lot of division on the Dem side, David, because Hillary Clinton hasn't even wrapped up the nomination yet. Trump pretty much has.
Yeah, but she's got 75 to 80% of Democrats favoring her. That's not the same as Trump. And we see that among the current leadership of the GOP. She's got also a majority way ahead of Bernie Sanders in superdelegates who are elected officials for the most part around the country. So she's got the Democratic Party unity, and I think will come out of the convention if she's a nominee with that.
You know, Bernie Sanders in a matchup against Trump did a whole lot better than Hillary Clinton in these same swing state polls. And by the way, West Virginia primary is tonight. I mean, Sanders could win that, right?
He could, absolutely. It's looking real good. The fact of the matter is, this is the year of the outsider. It's the year the Democrats pick Bernie Sanders with the youth, and Hillary's having a hard time even with women on trust and likability. And then on the Republican side, our outsider won. He's our standard bearer. He's where America apparently is today. And let me remind David that Hillary may not even make it to the convention. She has 150 FBI agents on her tail. She has yet to be interviewed. One of her key aides got immunity. Just today we find out that there are no emails from the person who set up her emails. She's in deep trouble, and maybe Democrats
You're the only one speculating about that.
No, that's not true at all. It's widely known as the FBI primary, David.
Sure.
All right, David and Brad, good to see you both.
Thanks.
For complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.